Good morning, everyone. Another spiritual download. And you may hear the birds chirping in the background. They're not too loud right now because I woke up a little too late for their song this morning. But that's okay because I needed to wake up late. Stayed up a little late last night creating for you guys. So here I am. I wanted to piggyback on one of my earlier videos called Shouldawouldacoulda. And for those of you who haven't checked out the video, please go through the playlist and do it. You're going to have to dig a little bit because it was one of my earlier videos. But I wanted to talk about that because it was based on a situation that I ran into speaking with someone. And I kind of hope this helps somebody today. There are some of you right now that are living with a little bit of regret and that you're struggling through something. Because of something that was taken away from you, because of circumstances, because of a situation that you were involved in, and you're feeling a bit of regret, and you're trying to get it back. And you're feeling a little depressed because you got to struggle to get it back. It could be an opportunity, it could be some education, it could be a missed relationship, and you're trying to get it back, you're struggling to get it back, and you're thinking to yourself, man, if such and such didn't happen, I would have been better off. I would have had this. I would have had that if such and such, if this one thing didn't happen. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But we have to look back at things and we have to think about how things are connected. And and I talk about this often. There could be one situation in one area in our life that can affect another situation in another area of our life because we were not taught this when we were little about how things are connected. Now, in some religions, they touch on it a little bit, but they don't elaborate on it enough for us to really get the message. We don't understand about how we treat people might actually affect our financial future. We don't understand about how our finances might affect a potential relationship in the future, vice versa. Because we think that everything is compartmentalized and everything in that one category affects that thing and what affects that thing in that one category. So if I screw up my finances, my financial future is ruined and that's it. If I screw up my relationship, my relationships, then my relationship future is going to be screwed up and that's it. My relationships don't have anything to do with my finances. My finances don't have anything to do with my relationships. And we were taught that. We were taught to compartmentalize things in life and that nothing will cross. So because of that, we actually think that if we do good in one area, and things fall apart in another area, that, okay, fine, I excel in this area, but I fail in this area, so things aren't that bad. So all I have to do is just tweak things in this one area and everything will be perfect. And sometimes that's not true, people. Sometimes that's not true. You have to understand that the way blessings are given to us is that they affect everything at one time. You may ask for something in one area, but that one thing can affect all aspects of your life in one way, form, or fashion, and you may not fully understand it at the time, but it does. Your finances may be great. Fine, your bank account is full. But it affects your relationship because you're not stressed out. You can get along better with people. You can do more for people. You have a better relationship with your spouse because you're in a better mood. You can spend more time with them because you don't have to work 60 hours a week anymore. You can communicate better. You can get to know each other better. Or on the flip side of it, lack of finances. Because the other person doesn't want to get a job because they're lazy. You see how this goes? So I'm going to share a brief story with you guys to see how one area affects another. and how regret plays a role in a person simply just not getting it. And I hope this helps someone today rethink how they're going through life. So here we go. As a married man, married woman, either way you want to take this, because both parties could be guilty, that seems to cannot stay committed to their spouse for whatever reason. It's complicated, because that's the catchphrase that a lot of married people use to justify their infidelity. It's complicated. And most of the partners that they get involved with are single people. They want to have their cake and eat it too. In a lot of cases, they do. They have one on one side of town, one in another state, one here, one there, and they want these people to be available at their beck and call at any given time, but they don't want these people to be involved with anybody else. But they're married. Their situation is complicated. But they're in a situation where they maybe want to have more financially. Maybe they want to have a business where they want to franchise the business. They want the business to take off. They're struggling with the business, whatever the case may be. But they cannot be faithful to their spouse. They're always having affairs all the time. And the sad part about it is they probably have a relationship with their spouse where things are good and wonderful and they're faithful for a while, but then for whatever reason in their complicated relationship, they decide they go through this period where they want to stray, and they pick up this single person who is simply just looking for someone to love. But because of that bad programming on their end, they're just taking what they can get and don't care that this person is married. And they avail themselves to this married person and they get involved in an affair with him. And it has no future. And eventually that person either gives up or the married person gets tired of them and they move on, and it's a cycle, and they just do it constantly over and over and over again. And the majority of these types of people usually get involved with single people. They usually don't get involved with married people. A lot of them get involved with single people because they want their person to be available on their time when they feel like it. But anyway, that's a subject for another audio. The point is that this person can't be faithful to their spouse. But they have certain financial goals that they want to achieve, certain career goals that they want to achieve, but they've been struggling for years to try to achieve those goals, and they can't seem to get it together. And they can't put two and two together and figure in their mind the obvious. Now, their spouse is satisfied with their situation financially, or whatever the case may be, or maybe they don't have a say, or maybe they don't even know this person has these goals and aspirations. I don't know. But because of their quote-unquote complicated situation that they refuse to keep their hormones under control and address, they can't accelerate. They can't elevate to the position that they want to be in. They can't be that famous actor or actress or director. They can't be that famous athlete, or they can't be that prize-winning scientist. And they have the talent and they have the ability. They may even have the connections, but nothing ever fully comes through for them. They're always missing the mark. And they don't see the connection between that and the fact that they are constantly unfaithful to their spouse. They're involved in a broken relationship and a broken marriage. And they will not do anything about it. They will not curtail their behavior. They either need to curtail their behavior, or in the marriage they will not address that. So they stay in this constant cycle of negative behavior, but yet they want to struggle financially or educationally or whatever goals they have in the other area, and they don't understand why they can't get to the level that they want to get in that area. It's because of the negative behaviors and the negative energies that they're involved in their commitment to their partner. Now, I'm not saying that the partner is guiltless. It could be a situation where the partner is involved in that too. But the bottom line is, it's a negative situation that has not been put to bed. It has not been resolved. How many times have I come across people, male and female, will sit there and say, man, I could have been a millionaire. I could have been a millionaire by now. I've been struggling with this for 10, 15 years, doing this over and over and over again. But God's looking out for me. But I could have been a millionaire by now. I mean, I've got this and I've got that. And you've seen their talent, and they have the potential to do so. But you also see that they have this one flaw that they refuse to get rid of. They refuse to acknowledge that it's a problem. They refuse to acknowledge that it's negative. They refuse to let it go. And deep down they know it's wrong, but they don't see the connection. That one thing is holding them back from that blessing. Spirit wants to give it to them. But see, with great privilege comes great responsibility. I forgot who said that. I think it was said in a movie somewhere. I'm not sure. You're not going to be blessed with more if you can't handle a little bit that you have, especially if you're running in negative energy. So if you come across that someone has a huge amount of talent, and then years later they're still struggling to try to get that goal, and they're living with the regret that they haven't accomplished that goal, look at their living habits and look at how they're living. Just look. They're engaged in something. They're doing something. They could have some bad physical habits. They could have some bad attitude. They could be running with some wrong people. They could be engaged in some wrong things that they will not let go. And until they let those things go, they're not going to see that blessing. It's just going to be talk and a dream. And it's going to be talk and a dream until the day they die, until they put dirt on top of them. And that's just the way it's going to be. And I hate to sound negative, but that's just the way it's going to be. So I kind of hope this helps someone understand that everything in this universe is connected. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, because that's a huge statement to make, because that involves taking accountability and responsibility for everything in your life. So if you're one of these people that for some reason you can't stay faithful to your mate, or for some reason you can't stop doing the drugs, and you have a dream, and you have a desire, and you've been struggling for years, put it down and see what happens. Let it go and see what happens. Seek counseling. Do whatever it is you need to do to stop that one thing that you've been doing for 20, 30 years, and just see what happens. I can guarantee you doors will be opened. And you're going to ask yourself, I should have done this ages ago. I could have been had this. It happened to me. And that's why I'm sitting here talking to you good people. So peace to you all. Have a great day.